So, you don't have a dobro. Well, let's not let that stop you. When I first learned to play, I didn't have one either. I was going to a jam session. It's going to be 6 guitar players there. And I decided I don't know how I figured out I wanted to do that, but I decided I wanted to raise the action on a guitar that I had. I had an old guitar that I could raise the action on. And I decided I was going to turn that into a slide guitar or some kind of a dobro. And I actually I took a threaded bolt, knocked the nut out, and put this threaded bolt under the strings, and that raised the action up. The reason you want to raise the action up is that if you're going to play with a bar, which is relatively heavy for tone, you're not going to win any Grammy Awards like that. Okay, so what we want to do is raise the action up. And thankfully, there is we don't have to use the threaded bolt anymore. Oh, I have it here. There's a nut converter that will raise up the action that's available. And it's relatively inexpensive. You just slip it over the top of your nut. Okay, so let's put it on this guitar and raise up the action, and we'll see how we can take an acoustic guitar and we can start playing some dobro on it. So first thing I'm going to have to do is slacken the strings. Oh, I just got the nut converter in place, and I'm putting the strings into the slots. Now they're all slotted. That does the job. The action is up pretty close to where I had it on my square neck dobro. So what's left to do now is to tune the guitar up, and we're going to tune the bottom string. Instead of E, remember, we're going to tune that all the way up to G. That's right. You remembered. Good. And this tuner I'm using, by the way, is a Peterson Strobo clip tuner, which is, as we record this is the industry standard in clip-on strobe tuners. It's absolutely the best thing going. So second string, we're going to have to bring that up to B. B flat. All right, pretty close there. Now, as you bring these up, of course, the increased tension is going to cause the strings you've already tuned to go out of tune. So you're going to have to retune once you get close on all 6 strings. That's close. I'm going to retune it anyway. I'll leave it there. Put some tension on the third. Now I can already see I might have a problem on this third string because on this particular guitar, it's an unwound third. The dobro is going to use a wound third. But we'll see what happens. All right, I'm close to G there. Second string is going to go up to a B, just like a guitar. Hope everybody's got popcorn out there. There's B. Now we have to take the E string and bring it up to a D. Now you're probably one step ahead of me in thinking that, there we go, so we're D. You're probably one step ahead of me in thinking that the E string is tuned down a whole tone, that, you know, most acoustic guitar sets are made so that you don't have to have Godzilla-like powers to play the first couple strings. You can bend them sometimes, so they're usually pretty light. So, and we've slackened the first string a whole tone, so there's a pretty good chance that the first string is going to be pretty light feeling. But we'll see. I already know, but we'll find out together. We're on a voyage of discovery together. So these strings are going to continue to keep stretching stretching a little bit. There we go. Okay, where did I put my bar? There it is. So now, just in that length of time, we've converted a guitar into something that we can play. We can play Dobro on. Oh, I was right. The light string is causing me to, with the pressure of the stainless steel bar that we're using, the pressure is causing that very, very light first string, which is probably I'm going to guess that's a 10. So it's causing that to hit the frets. We'll see about the second string. That one is not going down as far but it's a little bit light sounding tone-wise. And the third one, it's unwound, so it doesn't have the proper tonal thing that I would want. If I was going to, stay with this guitar for a little bit, I would change the first three strings. First string's too light. So what I would like to do is change the top three strings and thicken up those strings. I'm gonna grab a 26, an 18, and a 16 to get the top strings a little heavier, and then we'll see what we have. So now I've got it strung up with a wound third, which is a 28, an 18 on the B string, and the first string D is at a 16. Now, if I was gonna, I just played it a little bit. Now, if I was gonna, keep this guitar and play it just like this, I still value the first string as a little bit light. So, best guess was 16, and that's where you ought to start when you're guessing. And you might want to go up to 17. You just don't want to feel like when you're pressing down on the strings that it's gonna fret out or it's gonna hit the string. So, but anyway, it's vastly improved. So that's how I played when I first, well, I didn't play those licks, but that's how I played when I first got going. I went to this party and I just started sliding along with the chords. Back to D. Up to A. And everybody just thought that was the best thing in the world, so that launched my the rest of my life. But so there you go. Then the thing that you don't get when you do this is the string spacing that a bluegrass dobro would have. And it's just, you don't have to use it in bluegrass, but that a pro dobro would have. That the string spacing is wider than a guitar. But having said that, I can play this. There you go. You don't need to have a $5,000 instrument to get going with this. You can have a lot of fun. You can go through the whole course and play everything that I'm playing with maybe a $100 guitar that you have laying around and that you're not using. The one thing that you just want to be aware of is when you put the gauges on that we talked about, that they're going to be pretty heavy, and they will over time put a lot of pressure on the bridge. So just the most expensive guitar that you have, you probably you can certainly do this and play around with it, but over the course of a year or two, you might be pulling up on the bridge a little bit. So you just want to keep that in mind, and possibly get another guitar to do it with, rather than your most expensive guitar. So let's get on with the course.